Good evening, viewers and listeners. Welcome to another edition of the program, Serving the People, with me, your host and founder of the Democratic Republican Party, Mrs. Anesia Baptiste. Let us start with a word of prayer. Loving Father in heaven, do bless our viewers and inspire their hearts to see the need for the DRP as the alternative for the guarantee of good governance in St. Vincent and the Grenadines through the protection of the inalienable rights and freedoms of the people. I pray that they would understand what is before them and they would make the right choices. In Jesus' name, amen. And now, dear viewers, in my last program, I informed you that I was traveling to the University of London in order to participate in my graduation ceremony. In this evening's program, I wish to share with you footage from the experience I had at the Barbican Centre in London, West Central London area, where the University of London had its graduation for the international programs. That is, programs which are offered to foreign students outside of the University of London via distance study. There were two ceremonies. There was one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I participated in the afternoon ceremony and I was graduating from a batch of students who did the Bachelor of Laws degree, or the LLB, with the University of London's international programs. In the first segment that I show to you, you will observe, and it's before you right now, just some short footage of images of outstanding and famous persons in the world who also pursued this path of study, that is distance study, with the University of London. You would notice that in what is before you, for example, you would notice a female president of Mozambique. She's one example. And you will also notice Nelson Mandela, the late Nelson Mandela. We are told that he too was a graduate from the University of London's LLB program, which he studied for while he was in prison on Robben Island. So Nelson Mandela actually did the very same Bachelor of Law degree with the University of London, which I recently completed in August of 2013, and from which I graduated on the 5th of March 2014 at the Barbican Centre in London. Yes, and you will also see, take a look now at just some footage with me expressing myself and saying how I feel and giving thanks, dressed in my gown, getting ready to go into the ceremony. Take a look.
I'm getting all fixed up for my graduation. Hello, so I'm at the Barbican Centre in London, awaiting my graduation time. I'm robed in the academic dress with my hat and my gown and my hood, with my colours for the LLB program, Bachelor of Laws degree, with the University of London. I'm very grateful to be at this stage in my life. I thank God for His grace and mercy which has brought me through and helped me to overcome a lot of adversities to get to this point. And I want to thank all my friends and supporters who have contributed in tangible ways and with their prayers and words of encouragement to bringing me to this point. It means a lot to me. I want to say a very special thanks to my dear husband, Calvert, who's behind the camera, who has been there with me every step of the way and who has been a source of encouragement to me as I pursue this program, even in difficult times. Also to my parents for their support, and to my church family and friends and other friends and well-wishers who have supported me in my stance of principle. I pledge to use the experience and education that I've gained during the law degree to continue to serve the people, as is one of my catchphrases, service to the people, and to serve you, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, in working for the protection of your inalienable rights and freedoms. So you'll see me later in my ceremony. For now, this is how I'm dressed. Thank Thank you very much, and talk to you later. What I like about this academic dress, you have the color blue in it, and you know blue is for law, the rule of law, which the DRP, which I head, is based upon. We believe in the rule of law principle, which means that nobody is above the law. The law being the constitution that guarantees protection for the rights and freedoms of all people, both majority groups and minority groups. And blue, incidentally, is also the color for law in the Bible, identifying the commandments of God. So I like the fact that my academic dress today has the color blue in it, and I pledge to stand for the rule of law principle in my governance and in my policies in my political party, the Democratic Republican Party. Right?
Have you got her? Yeah, can you see her?
Yes, my dear viewers and listeners, I hope you enjoyed that. I really wanted to take the opportunity to thank all the persons who have supported me along the way and who assisted me in ensuring that I completed this degree program, especially considering the difficulties I faced of being fired from my job and so on while I was studying. It was financially difficult and what some may consider stressful, but by the grace of God and with the help of good friends and family and their prayers, I was able to find the necessary resources legitimately to do it without compromising my standards, and I'm grateful to God for this. Now in this next segment, I want you to take a look at some aspects of the ceremony. In the first place, you would see that there was a great procession where the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and other members of the board and staff of the university entered to royal processional music. And the reason for this is because the main person before whom the graduates were going to be presented, including yours truly, is none other but the Chancellor of the University of London. And the Chancellor of the University of London is actually the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II of the UK and Commonwealth, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne. So the Princess of the UK, the sister of Prince Charles, only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II, she is the University Chancellor since about 1981, and she is the person before whom the graduates were presented. So take a look at this portion of the ceremony.
Taking on one of our study programs, which are recognised worldwide for their academic rigour and quality. I know that our students invariably complete their study programs against the pressure of juggling a family and probably a career. And it is for this reason that all those at the University of London are particularly proud to see the graduates of the International Academy and the world-renowned colleges of the University of London. Together, they deliver a suite of study programmes worldwide through the international programmes. And supporting us to deliver these programmes are the 70+ independent teaching institutions recognised by the university to teach specific programmes under the university's Teaching Institutions Recognition Framework. And I would like to thank these teaching institutions for their ongoing support in delivering the university's Access mission. And I warmly welcome those that are represented here today. May I also welcome Dr. Mary Stiasny, who is now the Pro-Vice-Chancellor International and Chief Executive of the International Programmes, having taken up this post in September 2013. And she will now be supported by Mr. Craig O'Callaghan, the newly appointed Director of Operations and Deputy Chief Executive of the University of London International Programmes. Now, as I mentioned, the University of London was founded in 1836, but in 1858, Queen Victoria granted the offered University of London degrees by extended study, prior to receiving their charters to award their own degrees. Our forefathers really anticipated 20th century developments. Today, we continue to follow in their footsteps with ongoing innovation.
Can you see her? She's waving.
Adon Sokafia. Zamara Awa. Anesia Baptiste.
Woo!
Simon Bediako. Mohamed Bouya.
Yes, my dear viewers, you would observe the ceremonial dress that the princess was wearing. The day before the graduation, we had an opportunity to tour Senate House, which is one of the main locations of the university's administration, and we were shown that very same robe she wore with the yellow in it. It's actually real gold. We were shown that robe in a glass case, and we were told that it has been handed down from the Queen Mother or her grandmother, who used to be Chancellor before her many years before. So it is a ceremony that is filled with a lot of importance and pomp for the British community and indeed for the royal family in the UK. And this is what we participated in. In this next segment, I want you to listen carefully to the biography or portions thereof that is read of a gentleman, an author, a British author called Mr. Harry Patterson, who carries the alias Jack Higgins. He's an author of books, and some of his books have been made into films. And this man is now elderly, but he has contributed a lot to literary and literature and English society and studies in the UK. As a result of this, the Princess Anne, the Chancellor of the University of London, honored Mr. Harry Patterson during our graduation ceremony. So he was honored as an honorary graduate. What I like about his biography is the story that shows how he grew up poor, and he even was told he could never make it as a child at school, but he lived to prove everybody who doubted his potential wrong by hard work and perseverance. So take a look at this part and listen to the very encouraging words that honorary graduate Mr. Harry Patterson gave to us as graduates.
When his parents' marriage broke up, his mother took the baby Harry back to Belfast to live with her mother and grandfather on the Shankill Road. His childhood was spent amid the tension tensions so very prevalent then between the Catholics and Protestants. Shootings and bombings were, quite simply, a feature of daily life. And Harry vividly remembers two very near misses. Once when his step-grandfather saved him from a hand grenade, and once when his mother lay on top of him on a tram, which was under gunfire, in order to save him. In Northern Ireland, Harry's mother worked as a waitress, and Harry himself spent a lot of time with his great-grandfather, whose room he shared. His great-grandfather was bedridden, so Harry's job was to read the newspaper to him every day. This soon meant that the young Harry was a fluent reader, and he went on to devour his grandfather's collection of Dickens. This, I have no doubt, inspired Harry's love of literature. When Harry was 12, his mother remarried and they moved to Leeds. Harry attended Roundhay School, a typical, traditional 1930s grammar school, and Harry did not fit in. He had a strong Northern Ireland accent, he was mischievous, he challenged authority. One day at school, Harry literally made time stand still. The outdoor school clock, which was an heirloom from the 18th century, had no glass cover, so Harry threw snowballs at it during break. The head then shouted, "And another thing, you will never amount to anything." The head is, of course, long deceased, so it's a matter of regret to Harry that he's never been able to point out that that prediction was wrong, and has been proved so many times over. But back then, Harry left school at 15 with no qualifications and went to work in the council highways department. But Harry was determined.
Your Royal Highness, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here today to accept the award of Doctor of Literature from the University of London International Programmes, and I'm grateful to one of the greatest universities in the world for bestowing this honour on me. However, while any writer will be thrilled to obtain such an accolade, this award is particularly special to me. As you've just heard, I too am an alumnus of the University of London International Programmes, having studied for a BSc in Sociology many years ago with what was then known as the external system. Thus, receiving this award marks the full circle of my academic career and relationship with the university. Writing, or scribbling, as my commanding officer called it when I was a young trooper in the Household Cavalry, is a compulsion with me. When I was 14, I entered a short story competition, didn't win it, but a well-known author on the judging panel was kind enough to write to me telling me that I was a writer and never to forget it. I never have. Spending the last 70 years writing and creating characters that have become literary friends of people all over the world in 60 languages. For recognising that and presenting me with the award of Doctor of Literature, I'm profoundly grateful to the university. I would also like to thank the orator, Dr. Mary Stiesny, for for such splendidly summarising my life's work. I'm most grateful to her, and I take this opportunity to pass on my congratulations to all of you graduating here this afternoon for sharing this wonderful day with me. You now belong to a great trajectory.
On behalf of the University of London, thank you to Mr. Harry Patterson for his response.
Yes, my dear listeners and viewers, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. It was very encouraging to know that despite the difficulties you face, despite these circumstances, you can persevere, and with God's grace and help, you can make it. And that's the encouragement and the inspiration I hope you could take from my own experience and what I'm sharing with you here. And at this very end, we see the recessional portion that takes place after the Vice Chancellor, Sir Arthur Smith, addresses us. And one of the key things in the Vice Chancellor's presentation was the fact that he reminds us that according to statute, according to law in the UK, as graduates, we are now official members of the University of London. Yes, my dear people, I am Anesia Baptiste, leader and founder of the Democratic Republican Party in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the alternative party to bring good governance in this country. I am now, by graduating from the University of London, an official member of the university by law. Take a look.
I now call upon the Vice-Chancellor of the University of London.
Thank you all for your presence at this celebratory event at the Barbican Centre. It is truly a special day for all concerned. Earlier we heard from the Chancellor about some of our history, innovation and famous alumni. So I would like to focus for a moment on you, the newest graduates. The University of London Statute 4.1 states that the members of the university shall be the Chancellor, the members of the Board of Trustees, all staff employed by the universities and colleges, all students, graduates, and emeritus professors and leaders of the university and colleges. We welcome you then into this lifetime membership of our community and invite you to play an active role in the fellowship as a member of the knowledge has been hard-won and you should be proud. My challenge from the Chancellor to each of you graduating today is that you use that knowledge well. My congratulations to you.
Reception. I now ask please that you rise for the national anthem.
Yes, my dear viewers, I hope you enjoyed the entire thing. And incidentally, I just received my certificate a day ago. This is it right here with the university's official seal engraved in the paper. I'm truly grateful and happy to be a graduate of the University of London's Bachelor of Laws degree program. What can I say? I want to tell you that as an official member by law of the University of London, this prestigious university that I had the privilege of graduating from, by the grace of God, I will use my influence to work with the university to see what we can present for Vincentians as students. What more can we do together? As Prime Minister of St. Vincent and Grenadines, if you give me the opportunity to become Prime Minister, I will use my membership with the University of London to see what we can provide better and more for Vincentian students in terms of opportunity to study with the University of London, whether through discounted programs or through other special measures that could be negotiated. I will certainly look into that because I would love to see more of our students graduate from such a prestigious university, which as a matter of fact, just this week, this University of London was listed among the top 100 universities in the world. And the colleges of the University of London were ranking at place 24 and 25. The very colleges that offered the law degree, which I did, were ranking above the 50 mark in the top universities worldwide. So I'm glad I could share this experience with you. This is the end of our program. Remember, if you wish to contact us, the number is on your screen, 528-1015. That's 528-1015. Again, thank you all for your support. Thank God for his blessings. Until we meet again. Amen.